It is Kate from the Forward Line. I am back this week talking new sewing pattern releases for the last month. There have been some amazing releases. It's been so busy. Have you guys noticed how many patterns have been released in the last month? It has been crazy. We can hardly kind of keep up with them all. I'm going to pop a link down below to a blog post so you can go and see all the new releases for the month, but I have selected a few of my favourite to talk to you about. And yes, I'm going to get started. So the first pattern I've got to talk to you about was quite an exciting release. There were two new releases from Named Clothing. We haven't had anything from them for a while, so it was really nice to have something. And I think this dress is so good. So it comes in, did I even say what it's called? It's called the Cisco Interlace Dress and Top. It comes in sizes 6 to 28. It's a really interesting pattern. Like, I love this. Is what I love about named patterns. There's always something good. So if I show the line drawing, you can see there's actually a lot going on with this. So it's got basically two panels wrapping around the front. It ties at the back, and it's got this little sort of the straps aren't attached to the bodice. So there's actually a little kind of cutout detail that is around just to kind of just above your waist. And there's also a little cutout detail here. It's such a cool pattern. It's a jersey pattern, I will say. It says so sewing with stretch. You can also make this as a top. And the other thing I thought was quite interesting is that they've styled it as a maternity pattern as well. And having been pregnant, well, relatively recently, I think this is really great. I would have loved this actually, because you can just move the panel up over your bump and it'll grow kind of with your bump. So if you are pregnant or in the early stage of pregnancy, this I think could be your summer kind of go-to dress. And it's such a lovely shape, especially when you're pregnant. Actually, it's really nice to feel nice, which is kind of hard when you've... Anyway, I digress, but it's a really fab pattern. There's another really lovely pattern that they've released as well, so definitely go and have a look because there's two beautiful ones, but I really loved this one. I think this one will be really popular amongst all of the sewing community. I can tell lots of people are gonna make it. So next up, we've got the Comey Jacket from Wardrobe by Me. This comes in sizes 6 to 24. I love this. It's beautiful. If you're relatively new to sewing and you wanted to make a sort of piece of outerwear, this is a really lovely, simple option. It kind of looks harder than it is. So it's got a wrap front, there's a tie, there are these big sort of statement slash pockets. It's got a lovely sort of band that goes all the way around. It has a slight dressing gown feel to it. So you could actually, if you wanted to, buy this and extend it and have it as a dressing gown as well, so you get kind of double the wear. You can also make it, there's an option to make it a sleeveless version, which I think would look really nice at the moment. It's a really good layering piece. This is also a, you can make this with woven or jersey, which I really like, so there's a lot of options. You can make it in a jersey and it'll feel more like a jumper, and then you could make it in something more structured and it could be more like a jacket. So you get quite a lot of options with this pattern, and I think it's a really beautiful shape. So as I said, if you're new to sewing and want to do outerwear, this is a really good option. So up next, we've got another big release. When I say big release, from a kind of big indie pattern, the True Bias Zoe Tank Dress. I absolutely love this, and anyone who hasn't come across True Bias, have you been yet, or is relatively new to them, they just do really good basics alongside some of their other ones. But when they release a pattern that is a fairly basic, the fit is always really fantastic and the cut is always really fantastic. The Ogden Cameo in particular is their kind of cult pattern that pretty much everyone in the world has now made. There are so many of them. But I feel like this is the jersey version of that. I love it. So it comes in three options. There's a crop top version, a kind of longer vest version, and a dress version. The dress version, interestingly, has a seam all the way down the centre, front and back. And that is because if you look at the shape of it, it's actually quite fitted down to your mid thigh, and then it sort of flares out. I think this shape is really flattering, and I think it's lovely. The neckline on it is really interesting as well. It's again, very simple, just nice little details. So it is V-necked, but it's got an overlapping bit at the front. When I say not overlapping, sorry, like a little seam at the front. So it looks like it's got a bound edge. It's just beaut. I just think it's really nice. If you're looking for something simple, you like sewing with jersey and you need a summer top, this is a really good option for summer. Up next, we've got a new designer that we've added to the site, Maison Furf, which I've probably pronounced incorrectly. They have such great patterns. If you haven't come across them before, I will pop a link. Actually, I'll pop a link. Check out the blog post because I've added all of their patterns onto there because we've just added them. And they have such lush patterns. Oh God, they're so good. Right, so this one is called the Mia Dress and Blouse. This comes in sizes 6 to 22. I loved this. I thought it was really elegant, simple construction, just great. So it's got this, it's a sort of swing dress, high necked. It's basically got all the fun going on at the back. It's got this really nice tie detail and then a V. But the thing I like about it is the V at the back comes down in line with your bra, because quite a lot of these sort of items come down so far that you can't wear a bra with them, which I think is, you know, most of us want to be wearing a bra or need to be wearing a bra. I definitely do. And this does that, so I think that's a really fantastic detail. There are different options as well with the neckline. They've got this quite interesting sort of, I would almost call like a bandana style with a little cowl neck. And then you can also cut this off and make it into a top. I think it's really beautiful. You definitely want to make it in something with some drape, but I think it's really elegant, chic, and actually not that difficult in terms of construction. So do go and check out theirs because they've got some really lovely patterns actually. Yeah, so we're really delighted to have them, welcome them onto the site. Next up, we've got the Friday Pattern Company Seguro set, which I've probably said incorrectly. It comes in sizes 6 to 34, and talking, if you watched Sewing Bee this week, it was all about co-ords, and this is a perfect little co-ord outfit, which I think is gorgeous. I think if this, because this is new, I think if this had been released when the Sewing Bee was out, I think someone would have definitely used this. This is actually a very simple construction, so perfect if you're in the sort of beginner camp. It's a low V-neck, it's got an elasticated, like the bottom of the hem on the top is elasticated. The sleeves are just kind of straight cut, but you can see they're quite sort of relaxed. There's an option to add a little kind of bow detail at the front, or you can leave that off. And then the trousers are also really simple, wide-legged, elasticated waist. They've got pockets and a little tie at the centre front. If you can make this, like, it looks more tricky than it is. It's actually really simple, and I think a really nice one for summer. And they've made it in their really kind of beautiful, it looks like a sort of rayon with a bit of a sheen to it. Beautiful. I think it would look lovely in a linen as well. I think you can make this in lots of different things. Definitely drapey, but it's, yeah, beautiful. I think a really good one, and lots of people are excited about it, which I can understand why. Next up, we've got the Fibre Mood Maud dress. This comes in sizes 6 to 30. I loved this. I thought it was really beautiful and really simple, and a wardrobe classic that you'll want to wear over and over again. So there's a dress and a top version. It's almost like it's a bit of a shirt dress actually. It's got a placket down the front, buttons all the way down. There's a seam across the kind of the high end of your chest, almost like a yoke, and it has the same, it's mirrored on the back. There's some gathering in the sleeves. You can see it's got quite a kind of dramatic sleeve. It actually looks more dramatic on the picture than it does on the line drawing. And then there's an optional tie waist, depending on how you want to wear it. And then there is a shirt, like kind of a top version of this, blouse version. I think this is really great. I think it's beautiful, and it's something that I would definitely reach for again and again in my wardrobe. So I'm always thinking about things that I'd want to wear over and over again. And also this is the sort of thing that can work all year round as well, especially the top version if you want to wear, you know, in the winter, you could layer it up. So yeah, that's a beauty. Next up we've got the, it is a pattern, but it's within a magazine. So it's the Maker's Atelier summer magazine. She brings out a few magazines each year. Each magazine comes with a free pattern, but it also comes with loads of really great articles. Each magazine has a theme around it, and this the summer one is all about vibrant colour, print and pattern. And the top is really interesting. It's really simple, but it's just got a lovely detail. So I'll show you the line drawing. It's got grown on sleeves. It's super simple. You can make it as a dress as well, but it has this sort of channel at the front with elastic, this sort of little band that you insert elastic into, and it creates this really interesting detail. And you can see it, I'll show it to you on a person. I think it looks really fantastic. I've said that it's elasticated, and I then haven't looked, and I actually don't think it is. It doesn't actually say if it's elastic or not. It says gathered, so maybe it isn't. I'm sorry, I've digressed. No, maybe it is just gathered. It's such a great shape though. I think this is the sort of thing that looks really good on a lot of people, especially if you, because I at the moment, post having a child, I've got a bit more of a tummy, and this shape actually is really flattering. It's the sort of thing that you look at and think, oh, I don't want to draw attention to the bit that would like my fabric to glide over, but actually this detail, it kind of creates a bit of an optical illusion. So yeah, I think it's a lovely pattern and really great. Right, last but not least, we've got the French Navy Vertebra top. This comes in sizes 6 to 18. I loved this. I thought it was a really lovely shape. I think, again, something that you'd reach for over and over again each summer. I think it would look lovely in a linen. I think it would look amazing in like a broderie on glaze. I just think it's very pretty. So it's a very simple blouse. The interesting thing about it is it has got princess seams, which means you get a better fit, especially if you've got your bust is slightly larger. There is an option to add a ruffle panel along the bottom as well if you'd like to. But I think this is just a lovely, lovely summer top. I think it looks great and it's quite relaxed fit, and I think it's the sort of thing that you'd shove on with jeans and you get loads and loads of wear out of. So I hope you found that useful. We will be back soon with another video, and in the meantime, go and check out the blog post with the hundreds of new releases for this month. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.